At the end of primary school, there's a big examination called the PSLE. Everybody knows about it. In many cases, the parents take the exam together with the kids. I think it's right that the students take exams seriously and the PSLE seriously, because it's a basis for how you get admitted into secondary schools, and it's a fair and meritocratic system. But I think we should also see exams in perspective, whether it's the PSLE, whether it's the O-levels, whether it's the A-levels. An exam is not meant to be a do-or-die test. It will not determine the whole future of your child. If you do well, that's good. If you didn't do quite as well as you expected, there will be opportunities later to do better and to prove yourself again. And in the PSLE, you may or may not get into the particular school which you choose or hanker for. But if you can't get into that one, there will be other good choices for you, and many good choices. So if you do less well in PSLE than you expect, than you hope, there will be opportunities later to catch up, to prove yourself, and to enter competitive programs later on. That's how we design our system. That's what we are going to make happen, and already does exist to some extent. It's not easy to convince parents. I've met parents who come to see me and they particularly want to go to one school. So I said, but in Ang Mo Kio we have quite a number, so I named them a few which I commend to them. And they look at me and say, please write for me. So I will try, but I can't write for all of my residents, and if I could write for all of my residents, MOE couldn't say yes to all of my requests. So I think we have to see it in perspective, and we should not put so much pressure on our kids, which can be counterproductive. But we can do things to lighten this pressure and to give people more good choices at secondary schools. So we will widen the range of options. The most popular schools, the most popular programs we can replicate and bring to more schools, so that you don't have to go to school A in order to take program A. You can have program A in many different places. Like the integrated program, the IP. We are going to expand the IP. What is the IP? It's the through train. So students who go into the IP from Sec 1, they go through to JC, and then they take A-levels, but they skip the O-levels. If you're confident of making it to university, that's a good choice. And we've been doing this for 3 years now. The results are good. We've got 11 schools doing this, and we're going to expand the IP program to 6 more schools in Singapore, 7 more schools at one. And I hope that will allow more good students to choose this option and get into an IP program. And the way we're going to do it, these new 7 schools are going to have dual track. So if you get into the school, you didn't get into the IP program, but you may still get into the school. You have a chance later on. So later on, if you do well in Sec 1 or Sec 2, you can get into the IP program and then proceed from there. So the PSLE doesn't matter quite so much. I think that will give more choices to many Singaporeans.